You ever sit in a room full of people and feel like you're the only one who's actually awake? The only one who gets it, like you're surrounded by bodies moving on autopilot, all wearing masks they forgot to take off, smiling, nodding, laughing at nothing, and there you are in the corner, watching, just watching. You see every lie passing between their lips, every fake handshake, every look that lingers too long. But you don't say a word, not because you're weak. Nah, it's because you know talking won't fix nothing. See, real power, real control, it comes from silence, from patience, from seeing the whole damn board before you move a piece. Let me tell you something most people don't want to hear. The world doesn't care how much pain you've been through. It doesn't hand out awards for survival. You think anyone's gonna clap for you because you kept breathing while they were stabbing you in the back, huh? No, kid. They expect you to break. They hope you lose your mind. They count on you, snapping so they can look around and say, "See, he was the problem." So what do? You sit, you bleed, you cry inside your skull, but you don't scream, you don't beg. You just watch, because silence. Silence is power wrapped in patience. I ain't here to sell you hope. Hope is a scam. It's a leash for the weak. What I'm giving you is clarity, the kind of truth that cuts deeper than any blade. Look around you. Everybody's screaming to be seen, posting their pain online, showing their wounds for likes. Pathetic. Real strength. It's quiet. You don't need an audience. You think lions tweet before they hunt. No, they observe, they stalk, and when it's time they strike so hard, the whole jungle goes silent. And you're a lion. You just forgot how to roar. You keep wondering why people walk all over you, why they lie to your face and laugh behind your back. You blame them, but let me be real with you. You let it happen. You showed your heart to snakes and cried when they bit you. You handed your loyalty to cowards and got shocked when they ran. You spoke your truth in rooms full of rats and got mad they used it against you. That's not betrayal. That's just you forgetting that wolves don't sit with sheep. You think being kind means being soft. You think being silent makes you invisible. Nah. It makes you dangerous, because people forget the quiet ones. They overlook them, they underestimate them. And when the time comes, when the silent man moves, he moves like a ghost through fire. No warnings, no mercy, just consequences. Let me break it down for you. Emotion is a weapon, but only if you know how to use it. Otherwise, it's a liability. You love too loud, you get exploited, you care too quick, you get used, you forgive too easy. You get repeated, the world. Don't run on love. It runs on leverage, on power. And in this cold, rotten game, the one who watches without blinking wins. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, the one who waits and hits hard, hard when it matters. You think people respect kindness? No, they expect it. They drain it. They come back to it like leeches, because they know you'll never say no. That's your problem. You're scared of being alone, so you let everyone stay, even the ones who poison your peace. You call it loyalty. I call it suicide, but I know what you're feeling. The weight, the ache, that quiet rage boiling in your chest when no one listens, when no one sees you. I know you walk through life like a loaded gun with the safety on people, push people, test, and you smile. You fake that peace. But deep down, there's a monster screaming to be let out. And let me tell you something, that monster, he's not evil, he's not wrong, he's you tired of being prey. You want to know what power really is? It's walking away when they beg you to stay. It's cutting ties without explanations. It's ghosting the ones who drained you without looking back. Power is silence, not because you got nothing to say, but because they don't deserve to hear you anymore. A silent man sees everything he knows. Who's real, who's fake, who claps when he wins, and who prays he fails. But he says nothing. He plays dumb. He lets him think they fooled him, because one day, one cold day, he'll move. And when he does, oh, it's not going to be loud. It's going to be surgical, clean, brutal, a quiet reckoning that leaves no one the same. You ever notice how the quiet ones get mocked the most, called weak, shy, awkward, like silence is some kind of disease? But let me tell you something. Those loud mouths who never shut up. They're terrified of the silence because silence exposes what they really are. Nothing but noise, white noise, a distraction. They talk so no one sees how hollow they are inside. But a silent man, he don't need to talk. His presence speaks. His eyes scream. And when the world finally hears him, it's too damn late. People mistake silence for weakness. They forget that snakes don't hiss before they strike. You sit back. You let them laugh. Let them lie. Let them betray, all the while you memorize every move, every word, every fake smile. And when they least expect it, when they think you've moved on or broken down, you hit not to wound, no, you hit to end. Quietly, cleanly, no apologies, no justifications, just results. See, silence teaches you things words never could. It sharpens your instincts. It trains your mind to watch instead of react while they run their mouths. You're collecting data while they brag. You're calculating while they betray. You're strategizing. You don't need a spotlight. You are the storm that builds in the dark. And when you move, you change everything. The problem with you. You feel too much. You forgive too fast. You keep trying to fix what was never your mess to fix. You pour yourself into broken people, hoping they'll finally see your worth. But they won't, and they never will, because people don't change because of love. They change when it's too damn late, when the silence you gave them turns into absence, when your loyalty becomes distance, when your lights stops shine in for them. That's when they realize, but by then, they're already choking on the emptiness they created. You need to stop handing your peace to people who don't know what peace even feels like. You need to stop explaining yourself to people who already made up their minds. You don't owe them a damn thing, not your words, not your presence, not your understanding. What you owe is you, the version of you that sat alone at night, questioning your worth, wondering why it always ends in pain. You owe him revenge. Not the bloody kind, the silent kind. The kind where you rise while they rot in their regret, and that pain you feel, that deep, silent ache you carry like chains around your chest. That's your reminder. That's your trigger. That's the fire inside you begging to be fed. Don't numb it. Don't silence it. Use it. Pain is the most honest teacher in the world. It don't lie. It don't sugarcoat. It shows you who's real and who never was. It burns away the fake, the fragile, the weak, and what's left after the fire. That's you, the real you. You know why people keep disrespecting you? Because you let them come back. You let them talk to you like nothing happened. You forgive with no consequences. And in this world, forgiveness without change is just permission. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. And right now, you're teaching them that you'll accept betrayal. Silence lies, as long as they throw a sorry in your face. But a silent man learns. A silent man adapts. A silent man doesn't forget. He stores it. Every heartbreak filed. Every lie noted. Every fake friend checked. He don't clap back. He don't start drama. He just disappears. And when he reappears, he's not the same. He's colder, sharper, smarter. And the ones who took him for granted, they look into his eyes and realize the man they used to know is gone. You think I'm trying to make you ruthless? No, I'm trying to make you free. You're shackled by emotions that ain't yours to carry, bound by guilt you didn't earn. You ain't here to save people who enjoy drowning. You're here to become what they never expected, a storm they can't control. And that storm, it brews in silence, builds in shadows, and when it hits, it tears down everything fake and leaves only the real. You ever seen a man snap quietly? No scream, no threat, just a look in his eyes that says it's over. That's power. That's what I'm handing you. That quiet, unstoppable rage that doesn't destroy you, it builds you, makes you disciplined, focused, cold, not dead, just untouchable. So start watching, start learning, start remembering, and when the time is right, don't say a word, just act. Because the world don't need more noise, it needs consequences, and that, my silent friend, is where you come in. People don't value silence because it doesn't entertain them, it scares them. You see, they'd rather hear a lie dressed up pretty than sit in a room with the truth echoing in their heads. Silence holds up a mirror, and most people, they hate what they see. That's why they talk so damn much. That's why they fill their lives with noise, parties, friends, fake plans, empty conversations. It's all a distraction from who they really are. Nothing, and they hate you for not needing the same noise. They envy your stillness, even if they don't say it. Because being quiet in a loud world, that's rebellion, and rebellion scares cowards. But you've been playing small, dimming your light, so others don't feel blind, biting your tongue, so others don't feel exposed. That ends now. I'm not telling you to start shouting. I'm telling you to stop explaining, stop making yourself digestible. For people who can't handle the raw version of you, you owe no one your softness. Not after the things they said, not after the way they left when you needed them most. You were drowning, and they walked away with dry hands. That's all you need to know about who they are. You ever wonder why pain hits you harder than it hits them? Why betrayal crushes your chest while they sleep just fine? It's not weakness. It's depth. You feel deeper because you love deeper. You break harder because you commit harder. But the sad truth, the deeper you feel, the more alone you walk, because most people are shallow as puddles. They don't know how to bleed without screaming. You bleed in silence. You rebuild in the dark. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. You think they forgot. You know they remember every word, everything you gave. But memory ain't the problem, it's ego. They know what they did. They just hope you'll stay quiet about it. They pray you'll never rise because if you do, it means they were wrong. It means they lost someone real, and nothing terrifies a fake person more than losing someone authentic. That's why they'll never apologize. That's why they'll act like nothing happened. It's easier to play blind than admit they broke something priceless. But you gotta stop looking back. You keep peeking through a door that already slammed shut. You want closure? But real closure don't come from others. It comes from you. It's when you stop hoping for apologies, stop waiting for change. It's when you accept that some people ain't broken. They were built that way, and trying to fix them, that's what broke you. So stop asking why. Stop digging through the ashes. There's nothing left to save. What you can do is become the man who never needs to ask again. The man who don't cry over locked doors. He builds his own damn house, no noise, no knock, just foundation and fire. A silent man is the most dangerous breed, not because he's violent, but because he's awake. He sees it all, the manipulation, the patterns, the performances, and yet he plays along until he doesn't. One day, he just stops showing up, stops replying, stops caring, and that's when the world notices, not when he screamed, but when he vanished. You know, the sickest part. The people who made you feel replaceable, they'll come back acting like nothing happened. They'll say they miss the old you, not because they love you, but because they miss the control they missed. The version of you that settled for crumbs. The version that answered at 3 a.m., that forgave on command, that drowned silently while they danced. But you ain't that version anymore. You're not bitter, you're better, not louder, smarter, not colder, collected. And when they come knocking, let the silence answer. This world ain't fair. It never was good. Hearts get punished. Honest people get played. Loyal souls get shattered. But you can't let that turn you into them. You don't need to become a demon to survive hell. What you do need is discipline. Cold, quiet, deadly discipline. The kind that don't need revenge. Just distance. Just growth. Just a level of self-respect so high they can't even reach you anymore, and listen closely, because this part's important. The pain you're carrying, the weight on your chest, that ain't a curse. It's your reminder that you survived what tried to bury you. That you're still standing while others would have folded. That you've got scars, not wounds. Wounds bleed, scars shine. Wear them, own them, and don't you dare hide them for anyone. Let the world wonder why you're so silent now. Let them whisper. Let him guess. Don't clarify. Don't defend. Just keep building in silence, growing in silence, rising in silence, and when the time comes, act. Not for revenge, not for recognition, just for you. For the silent warrior who sat through storms and never screamed once. You want to know what silence really is? It's not peace. It's pressure. A storm held back by discipline. You walk into a room, quiet, steady, dead-eyed, and they feel it. Even if they don't say it, that weight in the air, that's you. That's years of betrayal locked behind your ribs. That's every scream you swallowed, every tear you buried, every rage you caged. They don't know what you're capable of, and they're lucky you ain't showing it. Not yet. But one day you will, and it won't be loud. It won't be messy. It'll be surgical, ruthless, divine. People got this idea that power comes from domination, from shouting, flexing, hurting. But that's not power. That's desperation. True power. It's control of yourself, of your time, of your emotions. While they argue, you plan. While they post, you build. While they crumble under pressure, you breathe. That's the difference between them and you. They react. You wait. But don't get it twisted. Waiting a weakness. It's strategy. You ain't hiding. You're watching. You ain't broken. You're loading. You're the storm they never saw coming, because they were too busy laughing at your silence. But silence is never empty. It's full of answers, full of pain, full of comebacks, so lethal they don't need words. Just results you see when you move in silence. People assume you're doing nothing. Let them sleep on you. Let them think you gave up. That's the beauty of the quiet path. It don't come with applause. It comes with power. And when you finally speak, it's not going to be in words. It's going to be in success, in strength, in distance, so sharp, it slices through their egos. You know what scares them most? Not the man who yells, but the one who's calm, 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 while everything's burning, calm, when he's got every right to rage. Calm because he's already decided what comes next. And that decision, it ain't up for debate. That's you now, not the beggar, not the chaser, not the emotional wreck. You're the calm storm, the one who watched it all, felt it all, and now you move. Let me tell you a little secret. They don't teach you, not in school, not in books, not on those fake motivational posters. Ready? Here it is. People don't change for love. They change when they feel loss, real, brutal, permanent loss. When the silence finally becomes louder than your presence, when your absence becomes their hell, that's when they open their eyes. But by then, you've already walked away. You've already outgrown the place they kept you caged in, and you will be tempted, oh yeah, tempted to answer, to explain, to give them one last taste of your kindness. Don't silence is your closure. It sees everything their ears can't handle. It tells them I saw everything. I stayed quiet. And now I'm gone for good. You don't need a final word. Your distance is the final word. You ever wonder why you keep attracting the same pain, same types of people, same lessons, dressed in different faces? It's not fate. It's your standards. You keep lower an amount of loneliness. You keep handing out loyalty to people who treat it like it's nothing that ain't noble, that self-destruction. But now you're done. No more rescuing. No more explaining, no more accepting, less, just to feel loved. You'd rather walk alone in silence than be surrounded by parasites in noise. And when you finally choose yourself truly, oh, they'll notice the silence you leave behind. It'll haunt them. They'll remember your patience, your kindness, your loyalty, and they'll choke on the fact that they mistook all that for weakness. But don't you dare turn back. That's how they trap you, with guilt, with nostalgia, with fake promises. Don't buy it. They don't miss you. They miss the version of you that needed them. But that version he's gone buried in the silence. And what rose in his place is untouchable. So what now, huh? What comes after the pain, after the silence you build? Not out of revenge, not to prove them wrong, but to honor the version of you that almost didn't make it, the one who sat in the dark, crying in silence, praying for answers that never came. You don't owe the world your pain. You owe yourself a rebirth. No more begging, no more hoping, no more suffering in silence while they feast on your kindness. You walk, you grind, you disappear, and one day, when the dust settles, they'll look around and realize they lost someone they'll never find again. And you won't even flinch. Let me paint you a picture. There's a man sitting alone at 3 a.m. No noise, no phone buzzing, no fake friends knocking, just him, his thoughts, his regrets, his silence, now the old him. He'd be dying inside, craving someone to call, craving a message, craving a sign. But the new him, the real him, he loves it. He breathes in that silence like oxygen, because now he sees it for what it is. Not a curse, but a cleansing. That man, that's you, or who you're about to become. Because here's the brutal truth. Silence ain't loneliness. It's freedom. It's detox. It's where you shed all the layers the world forced on you. The expectations, the fake smiles, the compromises in silence. There's no one left to lie to, not even yourself. You finally sit face to face with what you are and what you refused to become. That's where strength is born. Not in gyms, not in quotes, in those damn silent nights when you stared your own demons in the eye and didn't blink. You want to know why you feel different now? why you don't vibe with the same people, why conversations feel shallow, why parties feel empty. It's because you've outgrown the noise. You've leveled up, and with that growth comes grief. Yet grief, you mourn the old you, the naive you, the too trusting, too giving, too loving you. But don't cry for him. He had to die for you to survive. See, pain rewires you, betrayal recalibrates you, and silence rebuilds you. You're not antisocial, you're anti-bullshit. You're not bitter, you're boundaried. You ain't broken, you're bulletproof. You just finally stopped explaining your worth to people who never deserved to know it in the first place. And let me tell you something about those people. They'll come back. Oh, they always do, like moths to the fire they tried to snuff out. They'll call your growth attitude, your distance, coldness, your silence. They'll call it immaturity. But deep down, they know what it is. It's power, it's control. It's the fact that you're no longer predictable, no longer soft, no longer waiting. You're done. They used to know how to break you, didn't they? All it took was a little silence from them, and your whole world would collapse. You'd overthink, you'd beg, you'd chase. Not anymore. Now their silence, it don't scare you. You thrive in it. You became it. You turned the very weapon they used against you into your armor. And don't get it twisted, this new version of you. It ain't heartless. It's just healed. Not the type of healing that makes you soft. No, the kind that makes you dangerous. Because now you don't react. You don't justify. You don't need. That's real healing when you could ruin someone. But you don't. You just walk away, calm, quiet, unfazed. Let them drown in the silence they tried to bury you in. You've heard it before. Why are you so quiet? Let me give you the real answer. Because I'm watching. I'm watching who shows up without me begging. I'm watching who claps when I win, without envy. I'm watching who disappears when I'm down. And most of all, I'm watching myself. Because the old me, he let people slide. He gave too many chances. He stayed too long. But now, no, I don't even announce my exit. I just leave. You need to understand, not everybody deserves access to you. Your peace is sacred now. Your time is currency. And your silence, that's your filter. It weeds out the ones who only came for the benefit, not the bond. So stay quiet, stay calm, stay distant. Watch who starts reaching when you stop speaking. They say the loudest one in the room is the weakest. You know why? Because real pain don't perform real strength, don't need to be seen. It moves in silence, like shadows, like ghosts. And when it strikes, it leaves a mark that don't all fade. That's what you are now. You ain't just another name in the crowd. You're the silence that makes them uncomfortable, the presence that don't beg for attention, the storm that doesn't warn you. See, some people are addicted to the sound of their own excuses, but you're addicted to progress, not the flashy kind, not the look at me kind. The quiet kind, the kind where you grind in the dark and let the results speak volumes. No explanations, no warnings, just facts. They thought you were weak because you were quiet. Nah, you were calculating. You were observing. And when you move, it ain't gonna be subtle. It's going to shake the ones who thought they'd never need to respect you. It's gonna haunt the ones who thought you'd always be available. That's what silence does. It lingers, it echoes, it teaches. And when that day comes, the day you finally act, you won't say a single word. You'll just become everything they thought you never could be. You ever wonder what it does to a man watching everyone he loved slowly morph into strangers, not in some dramatic movie kind of way. Nah, quietly. Bit by bit, they stop checking in, stop caring, start acting like your pain is a burden, and you sit there watching it happen, thinking, maybe it's you, maybe you're too much, maybe you're the problem. You break yourself into silence, hoping they'll stick around if you just stop needing so much. But they still leave, and that's when the truth finally sinks in. They were never yours to lose. You just mistook their presence for loyalty. Big mistake. You gotta understand, most people don't want you. They want what you give your energy, your patience, your validation. The second you stop serving their comfort, they vanish. So when they do, let them stop running after ghosts. Stop holding doors open for people who looked you in the eye while slamming them shut. Your silence ain't rejection, it's revelation. It's showing the world who you are. When you're done being used, you think you're broken, you think your pain makes you weak. Nah, that pain, it's your certification. It means you survived where most would have snapped. You loved where most would have turned bitter. You stayed real while they played pretend. That ain't weakness, that's warrior blood. You just never had the right general to tell you that. So here I am, one lunatic talking to another. But I ain't selling you peace, I'm selling you clarity. See, people love to call you cold when you stop warm in their hands. But you were never cold, you were on fire. They just sat too close and got burned. And instead of taking responsibility, they called you the problem. That's what cowards do. They villainize the silent man because he don't give them what they crave. Attention, chaos, reaction. But you figured it out. You finally saw the pattern, the way they test your limits, then play victim when you snap. So now you stopped snapping. You stopped caring. That's real danger, a man who ain't moved by guilt anymore. Untouchable. Let them talk. Let them spin their stories. Let them whisper behind your back. That's all they got, noise. You've got something stronger. You've got movement. Growth. Discipline. Revenge wrapped in ambition. And when you rise, you won't need to say a damn thing. Your silence will scream. I made it without you. I healed without closure. I became everything you thought. I never would you ever see what happens when a man walks away without a goodbye. It shatters egos. They expect a scene, tears, begging. But when you leave silent, it haunts them. They replay every word, trying to figure out where it went wrong. But you don't owe them answers. You owe yourself peace, and peace don't come from confrontation. It comes from disappearance. You want to change your life? Here's the formula. Shut up. Work. Watch. Cut off. What drains you? Don't explain. Don't announce. Don't warn. Just move quietly, like a shadow with a vendetta. Let your absence teach what your presence couldn't. Let your silence say you had a king. But you treated him like a jester. Because truth is, no one listens to the man who speaks too much, but the one who watches, the one who waits, the one who lets his actions crush egos and expose masks. He owns the room, even when he's not in it. You spent too long hand and swords to people who stabbed you with them. You spent too long pouring into cups that had holes in them. But now your hands are full with your own damn power, and those same people. They'll miss you, not just the laughs, not just the warmth. They'll miss the stability you were for them while they played unstable. They'll miss the way you held them together while they tore you apart. But it's too late now. You don't get to hurt a man like you and expect a reset. You don't get to mock his silence and then fear his distance. You don't get to be loud in betrayal and beg for quiet in regret. So don't go back, don't explain, don't soften, become what the silence made you. Cold, focused, strategic, not evil, evolved, not heartless, healed, and when the dust settles, when they finally understand what they lost, let that silence speak for you.